10K day yesterday.
Congrats.
Very cool. Very cool. 10,000. I mean, I don't know. This might not sound like a lot, but you know, other hardware startups, like I mentioned in my internal post on our Slack, I mentioned like Humane. They sold I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with them. They raised like $250 million. Their whole thing was like they're Apple people who left and they're like doing the new Apple. They sold I think they were down to 7,000 last time somebody got a count. That's like factoring in returns, but so is our number. So, and then they had to sell for less than they raised. The product flopped. So it's really not, it's not a small feat. So it's pretty cool. It's a very cool milestone. Anyway. So I don't know, this week's pretty similar to last week. We just pushed a new 098 build for our release crew. I posted the update in the Open Pilot Experience channel. Link to. This is like a very large update. No, it's not working. Looks like you're muted. So we had a lot of like there was a localizer bug we caught that we basically rewrote the localizer. Agnos was kind of redone completely. The camera D was completely redone. The model runner was largely redone. So very big update. Oh, no, I think you're just muted. You just gotta unmute yourself. Or it could be the classic, yeah, you're unmuted now. It should work. But we still don't hear. You might want to close the client and then reopen it. This has worked for me in the past. So yeah, that's the 098 update. I think it'll go to release this week. And then yeah, we're working on the 099 stuff that I talked about last time. We got the milestones up on the GitHub. So that'll go out. Really, we'll start the staging process in about a month, in 4 weeks or so. How about phone calls on comma 3.5x though? There's no 3. I mean, if you want to call Lightning Hard the 3.5x, it's kind of a 3.5x though. The only difference that you guys will notice is the cooling is slightly better. So we didn't change the name or anything for that. But you could do phone calls on your comma 3x. Got stereo mics. It's got a pretty good speaker. Got beautiful cameras. comma.ai/develop a stable branch. No, I wouldn't recommend that. We're going to delete devel probably next release cycle. We have this whole constellation of release branches that we've strictly added to. So now we're kind of slimming that down and cleaning that up. But I see there is some we can essentially set up something that's like nightly dev, but for release. We can have release 3-dev or something silly like that. Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll come up with something. What do you need, key? Oh, yeah. Go for it. Yeah, I don't celebrate, but anyway, yeah, we'll set that up for the next release cycle. We'll have, I guess, the release 3-dev maybe. This whole dev thing is slightly confusing, but I think it's quite important that we protect release 3 as like the thing that, it's what's on comma.ai/vehicles. It's like the thing that there are some guarantees around we're supporting. Anything that's like Toyota Secock, we don't have any guarantees, but it's similar to Alpha Long. We can definitely do something to clean that up. But we're basically moving towards like nobody should be really running raw Git branches anymore. This is why I pulled off like people really shouldn't be running master. If somebody wants to make a PR that pops like an off-road alert if you're running master, and it's just like, hey, you probably want to be running nightly or nightly dev. I'd love to merge that. But yeah, people really should only be running pre-built tested branches at this point. There's no reason not to. And then we're just going to keep increasing the coverage of those of nightly essentially. This is Maxim's project for 099 is increasing the coverage on the nightly branch such that if in the limit you can imagine like once we've really finished this project, if that nightly gets pushed, it should be as solid as a real release candidate. But right now it passes our like little 30-second CI test suite. I see nobody from autonomy is here for 099, but we had some very promising. I don't know if I can. I don't think these are unreported yet. I can't show them to you. I actually haven't seen these pictures myself. Oh, your cover test is for LOC or functionality. No, we don't like look at line coverage a whole lot. It our best tests are like these end-to-end tests. We have this test called test on road that basically just does a drive and we do all these checks on it. And then we have a whole bunch of other cases that we stress. Like updating your Panda is one that has like a lot of cases, unfortunately. So we like really stress that. So we have some like we have some unit tests, but the end-to-end tests are kind of our best tests. And then we'll do a quick autonomy update. Since nobody's here from the autonomy team. The big progress this week was we have a new intern who's working on some new tests for longitudinal. So if you guys have heard us mention like the hugging test, that was a test that I think Vivek wrote back in the day, like maybe 3-4 years ago. That really helped us like with laneless and get that shipped. So you should really start to see some progress on longitudinal if we are able to get some good tests. And we have some promising results. So the initial results so far show that the Tomb Raider model that Harold's trying to ship, the VAE we're using, just loses traffic light information, and then you get all this weird behavior at traffic lights. So we just scale up the VAE, and that should be fixed. Maybe next week, Harold will have some good results to show for that. That's kind of the autonomy update, and then you've seen the world model team is kind of taking a break these last 2 weeks. Not really a break. He's working on paper for CVPR, so stay tuned for the CVPR paper. The comma get the first $1 billion. What billion? No, you guys know how much the comma 3x's cost. You can figure out what the revenue looked like. So that 10K number is also after returns and everything. So we sold, you can imagine like the return rate's like 15%. So we sold a little bit more than that. If can FD radar parsing. I mean, yeah, all these things would be merged if they didn't require additional validation. Let's queue up all the PR questions, and then I'll finish up the 099 talk, and then we can get to that. What else we got for 099? Dean Lee's working on the Python stuff still, Python UI. That's pretty exciting, but so far we don't have anything that's like the on-road UI. So that's something we'd casually like to get in. It's not like we're going to block the release or anything on it, but it'd be great if that gets in within this release or the next one. And then the other big thing that we're going to try to do besides, well, there's two more actually. So Casper's working on lag-D. So that should really be an improvement to everybody's driving. Probably some cars more so than others where the lag value is random. And then the other thing is we may try to ship bigger driving models, like 2x bigger driving models. That'd be pretty cool. Now that we freed up all that space that the cameras were using, and pretty soon the UI, and then we got to kick DM back to the DSP. So hopefully, TinyGrad is able to support moving back to the DSP for us pretty soon. Agnos 11.11, that will go in this release actually. I want to just squeeze all that stuff in. There was some nice dependency Dean Lee got in for the Python UI, so I want to update that. Yeah, it's great that Andy was able to look into that. I think that's it for 099. Cameron, if you have time, I would really love to get in the training guide stuff that I've mentioned a couple times because that'll also help out with the UI rewrite.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely seems like a less complex thing to do. So yeah, I haven't really had a good start on anything on the Svelte site, so it'll be good to look at that. I didn't get a chance to finish the review, but I was reviewing like the harness selector stuff, PR and the car dock stuff. So, yeah,
Cool.
but yes, Svelte's a bit new to me still.
Yeah, no, I like the focus on the Flash for this last week. I saw a lot of really nice bug fixes. Like you can reconnect to it. Yeah, it was really great stuff. It looks like QDLJS is gonna be really nice. I can't wait to show that off.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't make it a CLI thing sooner because it's so much easier to just run it in the command line and I can repeatedly run tests without having to unplug in and things like that now. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you got to select it in the menu.
Yeah.
Super annoying. Any news for Rivian to integrate open? We integrated it for them. Well, Lucas did a lot of the work, and then we cleaned it up a bit. I think the harnesses are. I think we sold out of the first batch of harnesses already. Sold like 100 Rivian harnesses already. By far our best harness launch. I hopefully those come in like the next 2 weeks. We bought one of Lucas's harnesses, so we can rent a Rivian again and touch it up a bit. In the meantime, we'll see. Yeah, Cameron, you want to do you have any more web updates on the flashing side?
No, I don't think there's anything else. It was just like bug fixes for QDL JS. I haven't actually shipped everything to the Flasher yet. I've managed to put all of my comma frees into a bad state where they don't have GPTs anymore or
Great.
something. So the Flasher gets to 99% and then doesn't work. So I haven't merged the thing yet because it's like failing on the GPT check. But I should
Means
be
you gotta
able
fix the
to.
flasher so you can get your
Yeah,
device working again.
once the full Flash works, then yeah, I can actually finish a Flash.
Some great motivation. Cool. So you think in the next couple days, maybe by the end of the week, can we?
Yeah, I've been reading like how what I didn't know what a GPT was exactly before this week, but now I do. So hopefully I'll be able to do that the next couple of days and get that merged. And it looks like I'm still not gonna be able to do streaming this week, so that'll be a next week thing probably.
Okay.
But yeah, it should once I fix this, like that will handle the states where like the GPT's bad and we'll be resizing the partitions and stuff and everything. So yeah, it
Cool.
should be handle a lot more bugs.
And the way we handle persist is we just never touch it, right? I never want to even touch those bytes on the
Yeah,
flash.
yeah. So it won't flash that partition and it won't erase any of the sectors for like the persist sectors. So yeah.
Cool.
We just read if there is a GPT there, we'll read that and see like where the persist is and we just won't erase those sectors.
Uh, okay.
Otherwise we will flash a new GPT and then read from that where the persist partition is.
We may want to just, yeah, we probably want to flash it and then read like that.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to, like imagine somebody, you can imagine like the actual information is still there and then somebody messes up the headers on the partition and then we erase their keys.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean. Okay, yeah. We can just use the one that is in the update. Use that GPT instead.
Yeah, I think we have to do that. Okay, cool. Great news on the flashing front. Oh, we had a great milestone this week too, besides the 10K stuff. We had to, for the very first time, thanks to all our Firehose mode users, delete data at the office. We started getting all these alerts. You know, you set up like these, I don't know how many of you use like Datadog or something, but we set up these like monitoring alerts like a long time ago. It's like, oh, if a disk gets full, like just post on Slack every 10 minutes because it's a really big deal. And then also start getting all these Slack alerts. We've got to start deleting data. So You guys are really making us think about which data is valuable, which data we want to keep. So Fire's mode, even though it's not a release yet, has been a huge success. Once it hits release, I don't think research knows what's coming for them. Worth it to delete just the C2? No, so we keep all the comma.2 data. We did it by region. So now we'll also use this. Right now when we upload, we just randomly sample. And it's not really randomly sampling because as soon as your device gets online, we start queuing things up. So it's going to be biased towards the things that happened earlier. Which are probably not good, depending on your driving patterns, because we may just be uploading the same stuff. So this deletion policy will also be used in the upload soon, so that we upload the more interesting stuff. How many petabytes? I think we have 10. So we also have 2 copies of everything right now, so we have some redundancy. We want to get down to 1. So that'll be a project too. And then we can, once we start filling up 1 copy, then we'll start expanding the storage array. Any traffic in Gulf countries? I don't know. Harold posted the map recently. But yeah, it was a pretty cool milestone. You know, when we started Firehose mode, researchers were like, we've never thought about this. It's fine. And they're now have to start thinking about it. So this is cool. I think the last diffusion model we trained was on 2 million segments too. So the better we make those 2 million segments, the better diffusion model will be, the better your policy models will be. So we want to get up to 10 million segments soon. If we can train a diffusion model on 10 million segments, so as soon as we stand up our new compute, we want to have all this data ready. We want to have data ingestion. Like we kind of want that throughput on the data ingestion side, and then we also want the data processing. We need a whole bunch of things to get way faster. So if anybody here is interested in working on that stuff here, very much looking to grow the team here to do that stuff. We need things to get like 10x, 100x faster, and get up data ingestion 100x. We're up 4x so far. We want to get 100x. Going to release, we'll do a lot, and then Sunnypile will do a lot. How was it working before Firehose, and how come Firehose exists today? So the way it used to work before Firehose was if your device happened to be online on an unmetered connection, then we would only when it's not driving, it would upload 1 segment. I think every 4 hours it would queue it up, and it would just it was kind of like a best effort. And it was like maybe try to upload it, and then now what we do is so I improved Athena such that we can upload files in parallel, because I suspect a lot of devices are actually getting shut off pretty quickly as soon as we queue things up, and then we don't get a whole segment. So we need a whole segment to train, meaning we need all camera files for the same segment, and then we also need the RLog. If we don't get that complete set, then it's pretty much useless, and it just takes up space here, and then your device shuts off faster. So with Firehose, there's a few things. So we made Athena upload in parallel. So now you can get 10 segments in about 1.5 minutes on a good connection. And then that's more limited on our side. So if we improve stuff on our side, then the throughput will just get better. And then now it queues up 10 segments at a time. And it's far more aggressive about doing it. It does it just constantly. It'll just keep queuing up 10 segments at a time. Right now it's randomly sampled, but pretty soon we'll be very selective about what we upload. This is why when you plug it in and you see that count go up, it won't be all the segments that you drive. We can't possibly use all the segments you drive, and it wouldn't improve the models. But the thing is, you can still see it go up, and you can compete with other people. So that's kind of the magic of Firehose mode. It's some real infrastructure stuff, and then also it gives you some feedback on how much of your stuff is actually getting uploaded and in the training set. How do you decide which to keep? I don't know if Mitchell posted a map. Let's check Slack. Well, let's check. I don't think he posted a map, but I can maybe give you guys the breakdown. He posted a little table. Oh, it has dongle IDs in it. Let's whoa, we have a lot of segments in El Dorado Hills, California. Oh, I have some friends that live there. We have a lot of segments in Fremont too. A lot of California, as you could expect. Got some we have some areas that are very overrepresented, so we're fixing that now. But yeah, we're starting with geographic diversity, and then we're limiting, I think, to 2,000 dongle IDs right now. 2,000 segments per dongle ID. For Firehose, do Sunnypilot branches with this format get whitelisted? Or just master? I did master. I think I did all 4 of those. It's not star. It can't be. Even ours, we don't do star. Like imagine there's a carport on upstream mass. Like we don't even do it for our stuff. For our stuff, we only take master nightly and release, and then for Sunnypilot, we basically do the same thing. But yeah, we do it based on geographic diversity, and then we also have some basic filter on how many segments per dongle we keep. And then for building the actual training list, I think we limit it to 1,000 segments per dongle. And then that gets split into the training and val set. Yeah, well, we might start doing some. Maybe I'll put up like a leaderboard with a map soon if this gets people more excited about uploading. We'll see. All the infrastructure's kind of there for it now. Yeah, as far as it's been a huge success already. So it's been pretty cool. Big thanks to everybody who's uploaded. We also made it work on road, which helps a lot. So if you have like an unlimited sim or you just want to connect your hotspot every once in a while, like my phone plan comes with like 10 gigs of tethering data. I mean, yeah, just use it. It's kind of fun to see that number go up. And it's basically free when you're off road, when you're driving on road. Otherwise, you deal with like if you get home and then you have to like bring it inside and plug it in, that's kind of effort. Or if you just let it like shut off after like half an hour. If it's constantly uploading, this is also slightly annoying depending on if you want to like SSH into your device or something. But yeah, those are the big updates. On the data side, we're doing great. We're working on getting way more training compute in here. It seems like TinyGrad's make a lot of progress on their inference compute. So you guys sort of talk about the GPU box. That is just literally a big fat desktop GPU plugged into your comma.3x and the aux port. And TinyGrad's writing a driver such that you don't need like a separate host or anything to go in between them. You can just plug it straight into the aux port and drive it that way, straight over USB. So with that totally matches the compute that FSD has right now, and then scales a lot better because they have to design a new chip every time they want more compute. For us, it's like NVIDIA or AMD launches a better GPU, great, plug it in, scales really, really nicely. So that's the one thing that we probably have a little bit better, like a little bit of an edge over Tesla on. They get this really nice benefit of like they have these nice big Wi-Fi antennas. They have like these massive batteries. So when you park at home, they can just drain your car of every segment without you doing anything like particularly special. They have a lot more training compute, but we do have them beat on inference compute once this TinyGrad has got their GPU box all sorted out. You guys can have various sizes of models at some point. So we haven't thought about it too much, but we will at least scale up the on-device models to the max size we can pretty soon. And then that'll just kind of be, that is what it is on the device. We may like change the architecture at some point if like more efficient architectures come out for the A45's particular hardware. But until now, we use like approximately 40% of the comma.3x GPU. Pretty soon we'll just max it out, and then that'll be that is what it is. And then we'll have better teacher models essentially, and we'll distill it down. And we may get better at distilling the models, but we'll max out the actual we'll max out the actual chip. And then we'll also have these like GPU grade models where you can plug in a GPU. And then this gives you like FSD levels of compute. So I suspect, yeah, we'll have maybe 2 classes of models. But hopefully that maxed out one comes pretty soon. I'm not even sure it's going to even be that much better. From our experiments in the past, the only things that largely get better with bigger models have been leads. So you guys driving radar lists will get an improvement. But I think we may just ship the maxed out model, even if it's not better, just to like start practicing for like when we do have good models and dealing with that size of model. Like we'll use the full 50 milliseconds. The question is with regards to external GPUs. One on device and one on. Yeah, I mean it'll just fall back to the on device model. we'll have like a nice thing that it uses the GPU if it's available, and then it falls back. Make the external GPU look like making it look like something is like, that's the easy part. We have two really hard parts first, which is make big models that perform any better than the models on your comma 3x, which we don't have right now. Believe it or not, I don't know. I get a lot of people don't believe this. And then, make the GPU box work at all on your comma 3x. But yeah, that's kind of the general updates on things. We'll wrap it up here. I don't know. Do we have like a lot of PRs for you? Is there anything anybody wants me to review? I think Shane and Maxime have been doing a good job reviewing stuff. It's a good year for comma. Yeah, 2025 is gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year. Sales are up too. Things are looking good. The future model will detect people. Nope. So they don't detect anything explicitly. They'll, I don't know if you've used experimental mode, but it like kind of knows what people are. It knows, you don't drive into people. That's our models are end to end. One day we'll even get rid of lane lines. Yeah, and again, it looks at the picture, and then it has the full information of the picture, but it won't like explicitly tell you any of these things. It'll just say, hey, you should drive this fast. Exciting year. But no, we put up some new bounties recently. We got some great challenges. So anybody's in the audience who is looking for a job, wants to get in on the action. It's gonna be a big year, really big year of scale and end to end. Gonna sell a lot of devices and build a lot of devices. Looking for some really great infrastructure engineers, hardware engineers. Got a lot of stuff too. Designer. If there's a designer out there. If you refer a friend, we have that nice cash hiring bonus plus comma 3x. Does the model train on signs or you're just not giving the picture? Slow down. No, we don't do anything with signs. It's just given this picture, I should slow down. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. We talk about this stuff on the blog. We put a lot of effort into the blog posts. You guys should go read those if you're not that familiar with OpenPout. Cool. Is that all we got for this week? Next week we gotta get more new people in here. I want to get fresh blood. We'll I'm gonna put up some more bounties. We'll maybe I'll hype it up on Twitter a bit. This is really our pipeline for getting more contributors in, growing the community. Need to hire some more people. Yeah. Let's start sharing these streams more. Yeah. Try to come prepared with a PR next week. There we go. We should maybe also rename these. It turns out we don't really save the PRs for this, so maybe for the big announcements at least. I don't know. Is there a big announcement? I guess we're starting to delete data. Yeah. I don't know. 10K day. We're deleting data. It's not quite the excitement of like when there was a new MLSIM model every day and like you could actually see it get better. But I don't know. It's really building up to something. I think where once we ship 0.10, it'd be great. Can you open source the data? I mean, these are all questions we've talked about. Just search the Discord. Just search the Discord. We have data sets we've published. Just go on GitHub. Cool. Let's wrap it up here. Yeah, regarding your stuff, Sonny, Shane is literally just spending his time before this release, this next release, on simplifying stuff, refactoring, and the safety 1.0 stuff. But a lot of that is just cleaning things up, refactoring. MLSIM will be from 0.99 onwards. Hopefully 099 has the like it's like a half MLSIM model. But there's no guarantee. 010 is just whenever MLSIM is ready. If it happens to be ready tomorrow, then there will be no 099. It'll just be 010. But hopefully next release we have something that's half MLSIM, and then the full MLSIM will be 010. Cool. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you guys next week.